Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today the Black Library Weekender is going on. It is Sunday the 19th of the 11th 2017. The Black Library Weekend is actually been going since Friday, and there's all this awesome news coming out of it, and there's all these cool pictures and stuff, but I want to focus on one specific thing, and that actually comes from a Warhammer community article, and it is about Primaris Marines and the Dark Angels. So we're going to be getting a brand new book series called Space Marine Conquest. Now, I'm kind of upset that these are not in audio format as of yet. I'm hoping that Black Library listens to some feedback and put them in MP3 format, because for people like me, most of my Black Library, I say reading in air quotations, is done when I'm driving around in my car listening to audio books. So please, Black Library, please give us some audio stuff. Now, the first two books of this new series have actually got art. You see them on the screen now, The Devastation of Baal and The Ashes of Prospero. But we're not here for those guys. We're here for the juicy stuff. And that is a book coming by Phil Kelly. And it says here in the article, Phil Kelly explores a violent clash of culture and war of philosophy between the Dark Angels and their new Primaris brethren, which sees Primaris question whether the shadowy chapter that resents their addition is a greater threat to their existence than the Tau they are fighting. So the description of that really piqued my interest, for basically a couple of reasons. One being that the Primaris Marines are a new addition. I know there's been a lot of hatred towards the Primaris Marines, not from chapters alone, but from fans. I did a video the other day why so much hate from Primaris Marines, and the comment section is a minefield, so just watch yourself if you're going over there. Now, there's some chapters that welcome Primaris Marines, there's some chapters that refuse them, there's some chapters that don't really trust them, and I think this is where we stand with the Dark Angels. They've come in, and the Dark Angels are wary of the Primaris Marines. Don't forget, the Dark Angels have a lot of secrets, a lot of dark secrets, which they don't want to get released onto the Imperium, because they may be painted like, okay, these guys are traitors, we should erase them. And as a first founding chapter, that is kind of big, a big thing. Now, what I'm thinking from this is that the Primaris Marines are going to come in, and the Dark Angels, of course, they have those secrets, and they don't want the they don't want the Primaris Dark Angels to find out about their shadowy past. Now, don't forget, most of these Primaris Marines, according to the lore, have been in stasis for like 10,000 years. So some of these guys may have been like initiates during like the Horus Heresy / Great Crusade and put into stasis. So these guys are like, you know, they were like the core Dark Angels before they got made into Primaris Dark Angels. So if they come in and they learn about all this bad stuff that's been happening, I'm sure that's got to create a rift between the original Dark Angels and the newly editioned Primaris Dark Angels. Now, the information I've been getting from people at the Weekender who's been asking about this is that this book is going to have a Fallen in it. So I'm sure the Fallen is going to have a huge part playing the Dark Angels and the Primaris Dark Angels off against each other. If I was a betting man, then I would bet that the Fallen Dark Angel would be the one who reveal the shadowy past of the Dark Angels and what's happened with Luthor and the Lion, and, or, you know, Caliban being destroyed, and, you know, everything that went down during, you know, after the siege of Terra, and all the mishaps of the Dark Angels leading up to that. Now, if he does do that, and the Primaris do learn that without first learning from their fellow brethren, that is going to... It's going to get complicated. Let's just say it's going to get complicated. Is it going to get as complicated where the Primaris Dark Angels say, right, this chapter is corrupt from the inner core, it's time for us to take over and reinstate this chapter back to its former glory, and they go in and basically start killing the original Dark Angels, and they take over the chapter, and it becomes a Primaris only. It becomes a Primaris only chapter. I can't really see it going down that route. What I can see is that the original Dark Angels don't want to tell the Primaris Dark Angels of the past, because they'll be judged and something may happen. The Fallen tells the Primaris, they go to the original Dark Angels, and then all the secrets get revealed. And I think they may have a little bit of a battle, not like a full-on like inner war where there's like, you know, Primaris and original Dark Angels littered on the rock, and everyone's killing each other for dominance over the chapter and stuff like that. I don't think it's going to go down that route, but I really do think it's going to create a lot of political tension, if that's probably the right word to use, within the Dark Angels itself, and the Primaris Dark Angels will eventually learn of their dark past, and they will basically have to embrace it and live with it, just like their fellow Dark Angel brethren. Now, what do you think? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? What do you think is going to happen in this book? Is this the start of the Primaris uprising that so many people have been talking about, and all these videos I've been watching about Primaris are really bad guys and they're going to rebel, and it's going to be like the Horus Heresy Mark II, the Primaris Heresy, let's call it, and they're going to want more and trying to overthrow the Imperium, maybe someone join Chaos and stuff. I personally can't see that at all. I love Primaris. I think they love the Imperium to the end and back. I think they'll stay loyal. I don't think we'll see any Primaris traitors at all. I think if they did go Primaris traitors, I think it would just it just wouldn't be fun. It's like, oh, okay, Primaris traitors, just like traitors, meh, meh, meh. So for me, they're going to stay loyal. They'll be loyal to the end. It is the only way the Primaris can go. Alright, chaps, that is me done for another video. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'd love to get your feedback as always. If you've got any information from the Black Library Weekender about this, or any new information at all, post below. I love to read it. I love to respond, to have a little chats and stuff about it like we normally do. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I shall see you all very, very soon. See you now, and bye-bye.